So before we get to today's video, I just wanted to quickly ask for any of you watching if you could just hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to get as many followers as possible just so that I can continue to make more videos and hopefully make a career out of this someday. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll get to the show. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Noble Crumb. My name is Jason, and I'm so happy to have you here. So today what we're going to do is one of my favorite chocolate desserts, and it is a chocolate mousse. Now, a perfect chocolate mousse is nice, light, airy, it's got all those little bubbles in it, and of course it is full of a really good chocolate flavor. You can use whatever kind of chocolate you want, dark chocolate, white chocolate, but today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to do a milk chocolate mousse, which I don't really make too often, but it's super easy to make. Really, the longest you're going to have to wait for this thing is just to let it set up in the fridge. So let's get going. Here's the ingredients, what you'll need for the chocolate mousse. So here's everything you're going to need for our milk chocolate mousse. You're going to need 3 eggs, 7 ounces of milk chocolate or other chocolate of your choice, 2 tablespoons of butter, 3 tablespoons of sugar divided, 1 cup of whipping cream, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and we're going to chill it for about 6 to 8 hours just to set. Okay, so to start the chocolate mousse, we're going to make this really easy. We're going to have 1, 2, and 3 bowls at the ready. So the first thing we're going to do is use my smaller bowl here, and we're going to whip 1 cup of whipped cream with 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and we're just going to whip this until stiff peaks. Okay, now that the cream is whipped, I'm going to put this in the fridge to chill, and then we're going to get working on melting our chocolate. Alright, so I got my second bowl here. So to this is a heat-proof bowl because we're going to be using this on a double boiler. I'm going to add in 7 ounces of chocolate. Now today I got the good stuff. I got real high-quality chocolate, and today I'm going to use milk chocolate. So I'm going to actually use less sugar in this recipe than I would if I was using a dark chocolate, just because there is so much sugar in the milk chocolate. So 7 ounces in the bowl, and to that we're going to add 2 tablespoons of butter, and we're going to heat this on a double boiler and melt it down. Okay, so I have my large pot here with about a ½ inch of water in the bottom, and I've got the heat set to a medium-low. So to that, I'm going to put my chocolate and butter on top, and we're going to let this melt down. And again, you want to use a medium-low heat. You don't want to rush the melting of the chocolate. So let this take its time to melt down. Okay, so while my chocolate and butter are melting down, I'm going to take my 3 egg yolks, and I'm going to add 1½ tablespoons of white sugar to that. And we're just going to give this a mix to combine. And once our chocolate and butter are melted, we're going to add the yolks. And the heat from the chocolate and the butter are going to kill off any bacteria that are in the egg yolks. We'll mix this up, and then we're going to put this aside. Okay, so at this point you can see our chocolate and our butter has melted down nicely. So now I'm going to take this off of the heat, and we're going to mix in the egg yolks. Okay, so there's our chocolate. I put a tea towel down so that I can wipe off any excess moisture around the bottom of the bowl, because you don't want any water getting into your chocolate. So this looks so good. So now we're going to add our egg yolks, and I'm just going to switch to a whisk. So I'm just going to scrape off this extra chocolate because I don't want to waste it. All right. So now I'm going to take my whisk, and I'm gonna add a little bit at a time of the egg yolk. So basically we're just tempering them. So just a little bit at a time. Just like that. And scrape the last bit in there. Perfect. Give this a really good mix. You can see the consistency changes. All right, so that is all combined together now. So we're gonna leave this off to the side while we prepare the egg whites. So that's that. Okay, so before we do our egg whites, we're gonna take our whipped cream and we're gonna fold in our chocolate mixture into the whipped cream. So to do this, I'm just gonna take it, start spooning it on top. Just like that. And we're just gonna fold this together. So just up and over. This will take a few minutes for it to get all combined, but you want to protect and have as much air as you can in that whipped cream. Just up and over. Make sure you scrape the bottom to make sure the chocolate that sets down there. And this looks pretty good, so I'm going to pop this back in the fridge while we work on our egg whites. Okay, so for the egg whites, I've got my third bowl here. Going to add in my 3 egg whites, and we're going to add in a tablespoon and a half of sugar. We're going to mix this together with my little whisk. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this onto the double boiler that we just did the chocolate on, and we're gonna slowly heat this just to kill off any bacteria. Okay, so I've got my double boiler again. I'm gonna add my egg whites to the top. And basically, just with a thermometer, you're just gonna heat this gently until it hits 144 degrees. It does not take that long. Just make sure you're constantly mixing it because you don't want to cook the egg whites. Okay, so I'm still constantly whisking these. We're getting close. We're currently at 123 degrees, and as soon as it hits that 144 mark, I'm taking this off of the heat, and I'm going to put them into a big metal bowl where I'm going to whisk the egg whites up. So it'll only take probably a couple more minutes to hit that 144 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so I've got my big metal mixing bowl there. I'm going to lay a towel down and I'm just going to grab my egg whites. There they are. They've hit 144 degrees exactly. So I'm taking them off the heat, just wiping any extra water off of the bowl. And I'm going to put my egg whites right into the bowl here. All right. So now at this point, we're going to whip these up until they hit a stiff peak. All right, and that's our egg whites done. Okay, so at this point we've got egg whites, we've got our chocolate and whipped cream. We're gonna fold the two together now, and that is literally gonna be it for our chocolate mousse. Get every last bit of that chocolate out. Now, again, just like we did before, you're going to take your time folding because you don't want to lose the air that's in those egg whites. So just give yourself time and fold these guys in. Basically, you're going to want to do it till you don't see any streaks or traces of the egg white left. Everything is going to be nice and combined. If you see any lumps in there, you just can cut right through it and fold it over. Okay, so I have made sure I've scraped the bottom as I've gone as well, because that's where the egg whites were. And everything looks nice, smooth, cohesive. So at this point, you can transfer these into individual little bowls or ramekins. I'm simply just gonna put a lid on this and put this in the fridge and scoop it out when it's ready. So you're gonna wanna let this go in the fridge and cool for a minimum 2 hours. But if you can leave it for 8, it's even better and it'll set up really nice. And we'll show you what that looks like when it's done. Okay, so it has been about 8 hours since I put my chocolate mousse in the fridge, so let's open this up and see what it looks like. So before I even put my spoon in, we can see that it's set up really nice, and I'm gonna wipe my spoon through, and it looks absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna try to zoom in for here so you guys can see, but basically you can see that I've got a beautiful creamy consistency. Lots of nice air bubbles in there, and it looks fantastic. Chocolate mousse, so simple, so easy. You gotta give this one a try. All right, so here's something I've never really done before, which is eat on camera, but I couldn't resist trying some of this chocolate mousse. I literally just put it in a bowl. You can top this with fruit, like fresh raspberries, cherries, anything like that. Even a sprinkling of nuts are really good. But I have to say, that consistency is just unbeatable. It's so light. The chocolate is nice and sweet, but it's not overpowering. It is really delicious, so please give this one a try. And that, everyone, is my simple chocolate mousse recipe. I hope you guys really get a chance to try it. And like I say, use a variety of different kinds of chocolate, different kinds of toppings, fruit, nuts, all of that fun stuff to really make it your own. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I really look forward to hearing from you and getting your comments. So please, as always, like, subscribe, comment. I want to hear from you so I can continue making these videos. Thank you so much again for joining me on the Noble Crumb, and I will see you next time. Bye.